What's up, everyone? Chris here again. Just want to say thanks for being here and thanks for checking this video out. For today's video, I want to go over my favorite exercise, and that is basically doing an audit on any sort of copy, but more so like landing pages, sales letters, ads, anything like that, right? So I'll jump in really quick and basically kind of show you my whole process and basically why I do this, right? This has been super helpful in my growth. I try to do this every single day, right? Along with my morning writing routine. And basically I just do those two things. And I've seen a lot of growth within my copywriting, but also just more so I would say copy thinking, and just brainstorming and just getting different angles, different ideas when it comes to analyzing these sales letters, ads, whatever you want to call them, right? Or whatever you are analyzing, but also when it comes to creating my own pieces of content and pieces of copy as well. So, right from the start, step one is study, critique, read the sales letter, sales copy, right? After that, I ask myself two questions, right? It's what's usually true about the people that this specific piece of copy targets, right? And what is a day in the life? What is a day in the life like for the customer that this piece of copy targets, right? So two simple questions, right? Very similar, right? But however, the importance of these two questions is it allows you to kind of digest and really dissect who the reader is, what their pain points are, and how you can kind of relate with them, right? And what I mean by that is, let's say you're reaching out to a brand, right? And you're auditing their emails or their landing page on their website, right? You want to try to have a better understanding or have a good understanding of who they're targeting, what their pain points are, and basically be able to relate with them, right? And what I mean by that is when you recreate, right, or when you do this audit for them, right, you can get all that information, take it with you, and then recreate the new piece of copy that you want to do, and then send it over. And then because you'll have a better understanding of who the audience is, what their pain points are, what they're dealing with, right, and how you can really connect with them through your copy, and really at the end of the day make a bigger and better improvement, so that they could get, the brand could get better sales, or you can generate them more sales, et cetera, right? And then the third part is basically create bullet points for the copy. And what this is basically the headers, right, or headline that you come across, or subject lines, you name it, right, is basically recreating them, right, and just coming up with 5, 10 different ideas, different bullet points, and just testing that, because at the end of the day, the header, the headline, the subject line is one of the most important things, right? It's the first thing that they see, it's the first thing that they analyze, right? That the reader comes across. So you want to make sure it's grabs their curiosity, right? It grabs their attention, it hooks them. So I always do that to kind of practice different angles within the ad itself, and then basically go on from there, right? So basically what we'll do, or what I'll show you, is go here to chat, right? I have this, this chat as well that basically does all this for me. However, what I do is I have it audit, right? For example, you can see this one, and it'll audit, give me feedback, all that type of stuff. And then what I'll do is I do it myself, and then basically just compare notes, right? And what this helps me, for the most part, is just what chat sees, right? And the different type of angles it sees, and also what I see, and compare it and see if I have any, common ones between both of us, but also if there's any differences. And, at the end of the day, it could be like, I saw X, Y, and Z, but chat saw something else, and I didn't even think about that, right? So that allows me to see a different angle, which I could probably use or leverage in the future, right? So what I also do is go to this website called Swipe File, right? This website's great. There's a bunch of other websites out there that have a bunch of swipe files, different types of ads or emails, landing pages, you name it, right? But I think this one's been great for me so far. I've been using this for a while. So basically, to can kind of just fully dive deeper and kind of get started, let's just click on ads here. I'll pick a quick ad. Let me see. One that I haven't seen. Like, that's the one from the chat that I just showed you guys. So I've done this one before. Let's do this one. This one kind of sticks out to me for a reason. But here, this website obviously tells you some, key takeaways, positives, all that type of stuff, right? It's great. But anyway, what I do is save it, right? I'll go to my handy dandy chat, audit coach, or whatever you want to call it, right? And I just say, audit this, please. We show respect to, or be kind to your chats, right? You never know what it could do to you. So I do that, right? You'll see it'll start generating and kind of doing its thing. But then basically what I do is I get over here and put it here so that I could kind of see it and analyze it. And then basically we'll really kind of just jump right into it, right? So basically, let's start with number 1, right? Study, critique, read it, right? Okay, so primer, men's boot formality visualized, right? Okay. For me, I would say that's kind of like the header, the headline, right? Nothing crazy, nothing, right? Doesn't really stick out, right? Sizing, bolding, the letter style, you name it, it's nothing special, right? I think what really stands out is kind of like this whole grid with the formal, refined, casual, rugged, and the different types of boots, right? It's very visually, you can see it, right? So the body's like the color, leather, decoration, and other details of a pair of boots influence whether an outfit paired with them is more dressed up or more casual, right? Kind of direct, right? Kind of telling you like, hey, every boot has a different style. The details matter, and this is kind of like a guideline of what you should be doing, right? So anyway, that's basically what I'll do, right? I'll take notes of like, I think the header / headline can be improved, can do a better job of grabbing my attention and, making it pop a bit, right? Yeah, I would say visually, I like what it shows. Get a good picture of what it's trying to educate you on or help you with, right? I don't really see any CTAs, right? Any call to actions anywhere here, right? So I could say CTA kind of missing, can add something that leads to, maybe a quiz or like style guide book, something like that relates to, the boots and the overall message of what should my outfit look like, right? But yeah, so just be quick. Like I can go into deeper detail more and more, right? But that's kind of how I would go, how would I approach it. Then I go into number 2, right? So basically I'll have A, right? Bullet points, and then B, bullet points, right? A is, question A is right here, right? Question B, right? So for this one, let's kind of brainstorm. What's usually true about the people that this specific piece of copy targets, right? So let's take a moment and kind of sit back and kind of see or ask ourselves, okay, who is this targeting, right? Right from the bat, right? Men's boot, right? I would say men, right? To be simple, right? I would say obviously men who are either new to fashion, right? Or are into fashion, but need, some sort of guidance / guide, right? For styling boots. Another one could be something around, trying to brainstorm here too. I mean, you can hit like professionals, right? Professional like stylists, just a refresher / reminder of, I think, boot styles and their, I would say, decorated outfits, right? Something like that. men, blah, 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 professional stylists. So you're targeting like two different types of people, right? Professionals who have a better understanding, men who are probably new and probably just kind of getting a better understanding. But yeah, like let's kind of keep it with that and kind of stay with this, right? So then on to B, what is a day in the life like for the customer that this piece of copy targets, right? So basically, how do we vision them? What are they doing? What's their day-to-day like? So I can kind of speak a little bit from my perspective, right? Because, I like style. I like shoes. I like looking good. I like dressing well, right? Even though I'm in a hoodie and a hat right now. But I would say, probably shopping for some versatile, I would say footwear / maybe boots in this part, to match certain, outfits, right? Based on like the casual, rugged, formal, refined, you can do something like this of like, looking for specific, like dressing settings, I would say, yeah. That could be like formal, casual, refined, right, rugged. I would say, someone who's probably looking at this or comes across this could be just looking for inspiration, right? And this could be on two aspects, right? It could be like kind of information overload. So they want something simple and like easy to digest and have a guide on, but then also maybe something that's like a refresher, like again, like a refresher, right? Like not refresher actually, maybe more so just kind of different styles, looks, and outfits that they envision themselves wearing, right? And then yeah, I would say let's just keep with that. Just keep this video a little bit shorter, not go way too crazy, right? So then the next part is the fun part, right? So, and that is like the bullet points. So this 21 bullet secrets type thing, I got this from Clayton. That's his last name. I can't remember his first name right now, but I'll put the guide or a PDF of it in the description so you can see it. But basically it's just 21 different styles of bullet points that we can use to kind of basically help recreate the what's it called? The header, right? Or the headline, right? So what I do is I pick 5, 10, whatever my creativity is like. I can tell you maybe from this moment, I'm not gonna go too crazy, right? So, something that I can think of right now would probably be, like your guide to men's boot formality, right? Something like that, right? So you could say something like find the perfect boot for you, right? Or you can say for any setting, right? So like that. So like that would be number 1, right? Number 2 could be something like, I could say like a how to. We can do like a how to, like, something like that. One of my favorites is like it's primer, right? You can do like primer. Boots made for any occasion for any man, type of thing, right? Something like that. But anyway, I think you get the gist of it, right? Kind of just come up with different ideas, different angles, right? Maybe we do rugged, formal, refined, casual. Do like from rugged, right? Sorry. to refined how to choose the right boot, right? But yeah, so anyway, this is kind of what kind of come up with brainstorm, right? It's kind of what I do. So then what I do is I basically kind of either copy and paste this or jump back in here and kind of just take a look and see what our little friend says, right? So, you know, you could take a look at strengths, right? You know, weaknesses, lack of definitions or contexts, no outfit pairings, some placement choices are debatable, yeah, etc., right? But for some reason, it didn't give me the bullet points and stuff like that. And so sometimes it does this. I'll do this. Let it do its thing, basically. Give it some time. Probably pause the video right now and come back to it once it's ready. All right, I'm back. So it's still going a little, but you can see right here. After this, go into it, understand the customer, ask the 2 questions, right? So what's usually true about the people that this specific piece of copy targets, right? It says likely men aged 20 to 45 who are interested in fashion and personal style or upgrading their wardrobe, right? We had something around where I had, you know, men who are either new to fashion or into fashion, but need some sort of guidance or a guide for styling boots, right? You know, they might struggle with understanding formal versus casual footwear choices. You know, many are probably transitioning into professional social settings where they want to dress better but need guidance. You know, may feel overwhelmed by the number of boot options available and want a simple, straightforward way to decide. So you can see, like, it's giving you different angles, different ideas where, you know, I didn't really have or come up with, right? Obviously, the more time you spend sitting on this and really thinking, you know, the more obviously bullet points you'll have, right? But yeah, so next one, you know, what's a day like in the life? Or what is a day in the life like type of thing? Dresses for work, social events, casual outings, but isn't really sure which shoes match which occasion. Might be scrolling through fashion sites, forums, or social media looking for inspiration. He's a professional, needs footwear that works in both office and after-hour settings. If he's more casual, he wants something stylish yet rugged enough for daily wear. You know, so like I would say somewhat similar, right? Obviously missing the very specifics, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about, right? Like, it just gives you different angles, different ideas that you can kind of use for your advantage, right? And just to kind of improve and just kind of better get a better understanding. Maybe I would say the psychology of like understanding people, right? But yeah, and then the bullet points, right? It has the how-to, the secret, you name it, right? It just gives you different things for headers, right? You know, better than sneakers, boots elevate your look without sacrificing comfort, right? Obviously, not every bullet point is going to be like 5 out of 5, right? But it gives you different ideas of or styles, right, that you can use for inspiration, right? So basically, what I do is I just grab the bullet points, right, and I just kind of just say like, hey, like, rate these bullet points slash like headers, right? I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Just say for you, right? And just kind of like, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll do this thing. Pause it, wait for it to kind of come back. Yeah, see you in a bit. I'm back and still going, but it's got all 4 ready, right? So obviously it gives me a little rating on each headline, right? Gives me strengths, weaknesses, improvements, all that type of stuff. So basically, this is what I do, right? I'll feed it. It'll give me tips and tricks, and then obviously just suggestions. And then, you know, you can just always see different ideas, different angles. And obviously what I've done with this chat, right, or whatever you want to call it, right, conversation, whatever, prompt, I fed it a lot of like winning ads, winning headlines, from like all the top like copywriting people, right? So it obviously won't be 100% accurate, right? But it'll be somewhat helpful and informative of how I can improve, right? So I would definitely recommend if you're always doing some sort of writing and you want to leverage AI to help you, I would do something like this, right? But yeah, that's kind of it with my whole auditing and kind of exercise with this. It's been super helpful for me. It's it's like I said, like just being able to do this on a daily basis with different ads from different brands, you name it, from different decades, eras, whatever, right? You can just see, what works, what doesn't work, and then as time goes on, like it just things start to click for you, right? For me, they're starting to click, right? Obviously, there's always room for improvement. There always is, right? For me, I know I can definitely get better with just being more specific on these things. Obviously, with the headlines, it's always just kind of brainstorming and taking inspiration and just finding ways to, really stick out and hook the reader, right? So, yeah, that's it for today's video. For this exercise, basically, and kind of showcasing what I do to basically improve my copywriting. So, again, just want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can take some inspiration from this, and please apply this to yourself, right? Or find ways to make it better or improve it for your sake, right? Like always, comment with any questions. Happy to answer them. Subscribe, like, you name it, and see you in the next video. Peace.